Plaintiff Stephanie Morrell says the defendant is her daughter. And when she was 6, Stephanie was in an abusive relationship. So she sent her daughter to live in a safe place. Stephanie claims after her father passed away, he left everything to the defendant. But she refused to help with the funeral. So Stephanie is suing. Defendant Sharita Morrell says not only did Stephanie's ex abuse her, but he also mentally, emotionally, and physically abused Sharita. Sharita doesn't believe she owes for funeral expenses, and she's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay. Well, as you know, I was growing up as a
I
child.
don't know you.
Yeah, you're right.
We ain't like
Your
that.
Honor.
You don't know me like that.
Yeah, you're right, Honor. Well, first of all,
God
my
knows
name
stuff.
is
And
Stephanie
Linda back
Morrell.
here too? Oh, no, you won't.
Okay.
No, you
I'm
won't.
a single mom
Ooh,
with one
well, I'm
child.
married.
That's my only
I'm
one.
married. Go ahead.
I heard that. I'm trying to get there too,
Go
Your Honor.
ahead.
But as a single mom, I raised Sharita. At the age of 6, I was in a battered relationship.
Age 6.
No,
Or
her.
She was 6.
When she was 6.
Uh-huh.
Okay, as that process as a mom, I felt that I had to get her to a safe place. And I figured my safe place
Why
was
couldn't
with...
you leave the man?
I couldn't because it was so much stuff that was going on in the
what?
process.
Like what? Were
First
y'all
of
on
all,
drugs or something?
No.
Well,
that
why
wasn't it.
then? What
He
was
had
going on
pressed
so
many
much so that
charges
you couldn't
against
leave
me.
him? What?
I was on probation, Your Honor.
He was?
No, I was.
Okay.
So I couldn't just leave the state of Connecticut to come home.
Why you gotta leave the state? Just leave the house where the man is abusing you.
I did, Your Honor. That's
Then
what
why
I
did you have to
realized.
send her somewhere?
Because I had to send her somewhere to be safe. She felt as though she
Right.
wasn't
Why
safe.
how long did she stay?
Maybe like about 6 months, and I sent her
okay.
back home.
That's it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
Yes,
thought you
it's
were
not a
saying
long, long
you
time.
send her to be raised by someone else.
No.
Okay, no.
Once I was able to
did
get
right.
the state of Connecticut to give me a probation officer here in Illinois, I can then I transferred here and took care of her.
All right. There you
Okay. In the process as she was growing up, she had she had leukemia and cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So as a mom, I thought I was finished. She's 25. She's grown. She old. I thought my job was through. But God said, I got something else in store for you. So I took care of my child. I had to change her all over again, teach her how to walk, teach her how to eat. I was there for everything. And as the process of she being in remission, my father got sick. So I did the same with him, took care of him, doctor's appointments. I made sure he bathed, made sure he ate, got fed, medication. Now, he just passed August of 2022.
How old was he?
75.
God bless.
And as he got sick and passed on, coming to find out that he left everything, inherits, he left everything to my daughter. In the meantime, we had to pay for a funeral. I had to close out all of my savings account, my CD bond, just to bury him. And as
He didn't leave enough money for a funeral?
No.
He didn't leave.
He didn't have no life insurance. Is that what you're saying?
No. Money. You said she got everything.
Yeah.
Everything is what? Everything
she got
is what?
The money. It was enough left there for
So
her.
did you all ask her to use the money for the funeral?
It hadn't came yet. What we did was I closed out my accounts to have it paid off. I didn't want no debts, no nothing. So that's what I did. If you look at page 3, it shows you that I did a cashier check to the
I
funeral
believe you
home.
probably did it. We just have to get to the law here. He left everything to her.
Yes.
Yet you paid. You think she would not have buried your father?
I'm
if
not
you
saying
hadn't
she wouldn't.
scraped, huh?
I'm not saying she wouldn't. I'm praying that she did. She would have took care of it.
But she didn't have access. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
And since
Yes.
have you asked for your money to be reimbursed?
Well, I did a couple of times.
What'd she say?
She was like hesitating, like, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something. And I'm like, Sharita, I'm not asking you to do anything for me.
Okay. You ain't gotta leave the state. Just leave the house where the man is abusing you.
I did, Your Honor. That's
Then
what
why
I
did you have to
realized.
send her somewhere?
Because I had to send her somewhere to be safe. She felt as though she
Right.
wasn't safe.
How long did she stay?
Maybe like about 6 months. And I sent her
okay.
back home.
That's it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
Yes,
thought you
it's
were
not a
saying
long, little
you
time.
send her to be raised by someone else.
No.
Okay.
Plaintiff Stephanie Morrell is suing her daughter, who claims Stephanie chose an abusive man over her.
Let me hear from you, man, young lady.
Okay, so growing up, I was like just with my mom all the time. We moved to Connecticut. She ended up in a very bad abusive relationship. It was so bad that it came to a point in time where I was watching her getting beaten up so many times that I actually jumped in. And I wasn't even in 7th grade yet. Like I'm kicking him and throwing frying pans and stuff like that. So I got involved. But as time went on, like he just got worse and worse to the point where he would beat me naked. Like it was just really bad. And he also took my mom away from me. He knew people within the police department. He had neighbors watching the house to make sure that she couldn't get in. He had a restraining order against her, but I was stuck with him. So he basically had me to himself all the time, just mentally, emotionally, physically abusing me.
Where was your mom at again?
My mom was locked up.
Oh.
Yeah. So when she got out, she came to visit me, but he would tell me like, she's not allowed here. You can't, let her in the house. But I'm like, that's my mom. So one day, my mom came in, I let her in. He was at work. And I guess he came home early because a neighbor called and said my mom was in the house. I had her hiding in the closet. He came in and asked me if my mom was there. I was like, no, my mom's not there. Then he's like, you're lying to me because everybody told me that she was there. And he just started beating me really bad. And thank God my mom was there hiding in the closet. She came out and beat the crap out of him. And next thing I know, we was at one of her friends' house and they were getting me a ticket to be shipped back to Chicago.
Did you ever prosecute him?
I couldn't.
Why?
They said because of the first that he was the initial person that called the police first. He can do anything, put a restraining order on me, and that's what he did.
Go ahead.
So I was sent back to Chicago to live with my grandparents, and I remember just in bed at home, he was controlling. He used to beat me. He would whip me because I was naked. He would smack me. He basically treated me like I was a boy too. Like he would dig in his nose and be like I have a booger and chase me, trying to put a booger on me. Like it was just really, really bad.
And the funeral expenses. What do you say to that? The estate went to you. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you pay?
Well, in my defense, I just felt like I didn't have to pay. That wasn't my father. That was her. I felt that it was left up to the siblings. It's her. She got a sister. She got 2 brothers. Like, why? And he didn't state it in the will. He didn't, before he died, he told me.
He didn't state in the will that a portion is to go to my burial. He did not.
No, he did not. And he didn't have life insurance. And he basically set me to the side and said, it's going to be your money. You do whatever you want to do with it. He didn't tell me that I had to, pay for any of these expenses.
What state is this? Illinois?
Yes, sir.
We have Illinois books. This is Stumper. I'm not sure about this. I'm not going to act like I know this law. This is pretty technical. And that is you received the money from the estate. Typically, the funeral expenses come out of the estate. But if the child pays for it, I don't know. So that's, see if you can get the clerk, Chelsea,
Okay.
to bring law books. See, I always keep me a little clerk back there. I know. Secret of the trade, y'all.
Here she comes.
When y'all see me,
Okay.
Our new lawyer.
Ain't
my new clerk.
okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Granddaddy girl. It's the famous Nora y'all always hear about. Granddaddy's law clerk.
Bring 'em up.
All right.
All right.
Let me see here. Hold on. We gotta look at the index first here. Illinois
She's gorgeous.
Estates.
Or is he on the right chapter?
I'm on the right chapter. Okay. Like I thought. The law is that the estate can't be touched by anybody until the funeral expense is paid out of the money, whether the will says so or not. It's strict law in Illinois. It comes out of the estate. And she's entitled to get her money back from the estate. $5,000 is your judgment because it's a reimbursement from the estate. Your claim for $3,000 is for what?
Just emotional stress, emotional abuse. Growing up, watching her, being with abusive men, like even when she came to Chicago, and me and
When?
her were when I was around.
When is the last time you experienced it? Did you feel you experienced the emotional distress?
Just watching her struggling with her late husband or her late husband. His health was declining, like she was locked up again, but for something else.
Did you ever prosecute him?
I couldn't.
Why?
They said because of the first that he was the initial person that called the police first. He couldn't do anything, put a restraining order on me, and that's what he did.
Plaintiff Stephanie Morell is suing her daughter, who claims Stephanie chose an abusive man over her.
You have to tell me how her behavior affected you in the last 2 years, which is the statute of limitations. What has she done in the last 2 years to affect you detrimentally?
Well, in the last 2 years, my issues aren't like recent. All my issues stir up.
And unfortunately, all you can do is collect on specific things that occur within the last 2 years. Judgment for the plaintiff. I have to dismiss yours. Have a good day. You gotta go pay the clerk. She don't do nothing for free.
Like at the end of the day, I still love my mom. She did take care of me, and she did. She tried to make up for a lot. I still I'm a type of person that hold grudges, so it's like it's been really hard. But now that she's away from all the abuse, it's so much better and so much easier for me to reconnect with my mom.
I love her too dearly. That's my angel, and she will always be my angel, regardless of what happened with the court case or anything. I'ma still love my baby regardless, unconditionally.